Real Country 550 and 92.9 WAME Statesville.
Welcome to Racing Roots with Hamm.
If you don't know our host, David Hamm, he's a 25-year NASCAR veteran, engine builder, and jackman.
Live every Monday evening, we have a new guest
From the racing world with their stories, their paths,
their racing roots. Sponsored by Jersey Cape Yachts.
Now here's our host, David Hamm.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Racing Roots with Hamm, right here on 550 AM and 92.9 FM WAME radio here in beautiful downtown Statesville, where it is nice and hot all day long. So, and speaking of hot, we have my guest tonight. All right, so it's Tim Packman.
That's right.
Packman.
That's right.
Yes, I keep wanting to call you Packman, which I know.
That's all right.
I kind of like that. It's a play on words.
When I moved down south from Buffalo, my first name took on a second syllable to Tim.
Oh, yeah.
People south say, I call it Packman.
Yes.
And it's Packman. Just I pronounce it real quick.
So now, from now on, it's going to be Tim Packman.
For the next hour and a half, that's fine.
Yes. Hey, so I waited in the parking lot, let's see, at Kmart in 1981. I waited in a long line of people to get your video game.
And that's why I'm here now.
Yes, that's it. I just came up with that. I wasn't planning on doing that.
Okay.
But anyway. All right.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, man. Turn you up. He's asking me to turn him up.
That's all right.
Oh, yeah, they are turned down pretty low.
Now I hear you. Okay, good.
There we go. All right. So hope everybody had a great day. It's thanks for tuning in so far. We got some people here. Hopefully you're ready to ask some questions.
Sure.
And if you don't know Tim Packman,
You're okay.
you're okay. It's okay. Actually, I kind of learned you by seeing you on Facebook and, you know, your promotional type things and also on LinkedIn. And that's how we connected, sending messages and whatever. So, you know, Tim has his own show. And so I believe I'm probably still going to be on your show if I'm welcome.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I'd like to do that.
We'll see how tonight goes. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I thought about going ahead and saying, let's see, the Tuesday after Memorial Day, but then I thought, well, he might want to wait, see how it goes.
Yeah. Are you talking pub table racers or how I got here?
Well, I know you've got several different things going on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would definitely want to mention that now.
Okay.
And then we can back up to
Sure.
your beginnings and
That's
how you
fine.
got interested in the racing.
Yeah.
You know, your roots, your path, your stories, your racing roots. Okay. All right. So, but yes, yeah, Pub Table Racers.
So yeah, Pub Table Racers is a Facebook Live show. Myself and my co-host Warren Brosell started over a year ago, and basically we take an hour and we have guests on that. We like to pay attention or give publicity to the people that don't normally get it. So we have crew members, guys that were jackman, engine builders, and every once in a while we'll throw a crew chief and a driver in there. But for the most part, it's usually the people that really don't get a whole lot of exposure. Yeah. And we do it. It's a lot of fun. And we do it over a bucket of Miller High Life because it's Pub Table Racers. And come on, have a couple beers with us. And it's an hour, and it has a website, pubtableracers.com. And it's been around. I write some articles once in a while because I have a writing background as well. Yeah. Just to see if I can still do it. Yeah. But we have merchandise and hats and T-shirts and koozies because if you have a pub table show, you got to have a koozie.
Gotta have a koozie.
Absolutely, exactly. Yes. So go on his pubtableracers.com.
Exactly.
And check out the merch over there.
Get them all you can.
So truth be known, though, you watched my show over a year ago. No, I'm kidding. No, actually, my show did start out with Beer Man. Yeah. We had Scott Trevison. Actually, it started with me and Tracy. Yes, my wife Tracy.
Yes, very
long. It all started with me.
Yes, don't want to leave that credit off of there.
Exactly.
You are now.
Yeah, exactly. So
5 years married.
Yeah,
coming up on 6.
You asked me how many years I've been married, and I said 2. I mean 5. Too many.
Don't.
No, it's
too early to do that.
Yes. So anyway, we started out Hamm and Beer Man, and so Beer Man Scott Trevison's but he's down in Florida.
Got it.
Hanging out on C-Tunes right now, maybe listening to us, his boat. So, yeah. Good. And he would have a Coors Light, of course. That's fine. Because that's his beer choice. Well, when he was in NASCAR, he was the beer man. He was the Coors Light beer man. So, anytime you went around to a racetrack between 1993, I guess, and 2007, 4, 5, 6.
I think I know who he is.
There's the beer.
Very popular guy if you're the beer man.
Yeah. That's it.
I was with Budweiser 3 different times. Okay. With Dale Jr., Casey Kane, and Kevin Harvick. Mm-hmm. And the beer guy was always a popular guy.
Yeah. Yeah. There was the Budweiser beer guy. I'm sure he was very popular too, because they're the ones, when Scott was with Sterling, he would always load him up with the beers, and then Sterling would call him up, hey, you got any more beer? And he'd be like, are you out of beer already? How is that even possible? Yes.
Have you been to around a race team before?
Yeah, exactly.
It's very possible.
And speaking of popular, we got Dickie Dennis tuned in with us.
Okay.
He just put up a bunch of laughs up here, but he was the infamous fence climber from 2014.
Well, he's laughing because you don't know how long you're
Oh, that guy.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
The guy that climbed up there and just kind of copped a squat for a while and had the best seat in the house?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yep. What about that
I
guy?
give him credit for being crazy.
Yeah, that's for sure.
He said, I thought my ticket was for up there. I must be in the front row.
I think he only had 2 beers. He's a cheap drunk.
Sure, yeah. I bet.
Yeah,
It's a cheap date.
Yeah, Suzette McGuire's out in California.
Right.
And let's see, I am DHammiam
That
is
would be
right
me.
over here.
Hey.
Rachel
Yay.
Rodman in Charlotte. And let's see.
Concord.
Oh yeah, we got to have a shout out to Phil Cavalli. He is not going to be with us this evening. He was he got tied up. He had a bunch of stuff going on.
He's a popular guy. He's a busy guy.
Yeah, he's busy.
Troutman family.
Sure. Oh yeah, Troutman family. Hello to y'all. I'm sure Phil's taking pictures. If he's sleeping, he's probably still taking pictures. It's like I build engines in my sleep. So there you go.
Perfect.
All right. So, but yes, if anybody wants to do a call in, send me a message on Messenger, and I may make that happen tonight.
We're going to open this up to people?
But we may.
Oh, boy, this is going to get ugly.
We'll see how that goes. And
If all my friends call in, that's 2 calls.
oh, there you go. 2 friends, 2 calls.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if anybody out there listening on the radio, we got Tim Packman in here with me on Racing Roots with Hamm. And if you want to call in, I'll give you that number right now, 70. Well, you know what? Let's just wait a little while.
Sure.
Let's go till after the break, which is in about 20 minutes. All right, so go back to the story. You've got Pub Table Racers,
Yep.
and what else?
Also on the Speed Sport Podcast Network, NASCAR Digital Media, it's called How I Got Here. Basically, it talks about everybody but drivers. It's in a driver-free show. I didn't want it that way. But everybody shares their story, how they came from, let's use Amherst, Massachusetts, how they came into the sport and what they've done. And they just kind of tell their story. And it's relatable to a lot of people that are in the sport because a lot of them came down with nothing, no context. They said, I want to get in racing. And they came down and they slept on couches, they sold cars, they mowed lawns until they got their break. And then when they got their break, the story goes, from there. And the other show is The Garage Shop, which is on YouTube. And that's where we talk about, right now we're working on a Dodge Daytona, number 71 Bobby Isaac. And we have the Aero Wars part of it is the Ford Talladega. And that shop's in Denver. And it's run by Aaron Brown, and we just went out to the East Coast Time Trials in Arkansas, where each car went 225 and 226 in 1.25 miles.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Very
fast.
cool. Yes,
very fast. And you as an engine guy, you'd be like, whoa.
Yes.
But it was amazing.
Yeah. What's Aaron Brown's background?
Well, Aaron was in the Navy.
Okay.
I worked with him at Delaware Incorporated, and he was the head of R&D for DHammiam Motorsports for a while, and then he kind of got out of it and he started his own shop, and then this business part of it just took off. So the YouTube channel is The Garage Shop. Okay. And that's gone pretty bonkers because people really dig that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And we're going to go to
I've
Bonneville in a few months and go faster.
Yeah, I saw that video. I like that stuff. That's very cool. Yeah, I'm sure we know a lot of the same people. I'm sure we even worked with a lot of the same people. And I know you've had some of my friends on your show. You had Darren Russell on.
Good guy.
And yeah, for sure. He was on with me a couple of weeks ago. We actually did the show let's say live. It's always live pretty much, from a 15-foot scaffolding right down here to raise money for 7 days for the troops.
Perfect.
Raise money for Purple Heart Homes.
Good.
Yeah.
As a veteran, I say
Scott
thank you.
Burns. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for your service.
Yeah.
And so Darren come on and did that show and actually made a donation, which was very nice of him.
He's a
as
great guy. And if you ever want to know the best restaurants to go on the NASCAR circuit, he is the food guru.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Oh, he had a list when he came on Pub Table Racers.
Yeah.
He had a list of every track. Here's the best place. Yeah. Everyone's chiming in and going, yep, good place. Yep, good place. Yeah. I'm like, been there. Didn't know about that one.
Yeah, that's cool. And you had Andy Stapp on there as well.
Good girl. His history is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he raced with Jeff Gordon in the sprint cars.
Yep.
And then his dad raced sprint cars.
Legendary builder, had Tony Stewart.
Yeah.
All kinds of AJ Foyt, him, his dad, rode around with just the stories he has, it's phenomenal.
Yeah. Yep. And he had Kevin Mannion.
Bono.
Yep, Bono on your show. And I was trying to think somebody else. Maybe you had, let's
Billy Wilburn?
Yeah, Billy Wilburn.
Yep, great guy. Great story right there, too. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm sure there was more. So, but as I mentioned, Tim Packman has his own show as well. So you're on the other side of the
I'm a guest tonight.
Yeah. Which is, I know whenever you'd asked me to come on your show, I was thinking this is going to be different, but it'll be fun,
Yeah.
Always got to be fun.
Sure.
If it's not fun, it's not worth doing.
Exactly. And racing is fun, and doing radio on YouTube is fun too.
It is. Yeah. That's one of the best things because I can be creative and I can come up with things and make them work. Kind of like building an engine and make it go around the track with a little bit less pressure.
Sure.
It's a different kind of pressure.
And the best part is there's no script here. Nothing.
Yeah,
There's
that's
nothing.
it.
You have one piece of paper in front of you.
When I'm scripted, I'm a little
No,
bit
you can't.
more uptight. Or it's hard. It's more.
Sure.
It's not as real, I guess.
Well,
in a way.
remember Steve Allen, great talk show
Yeah,
host?
Steve Allen.
So I've been studying a lot of talk shows, and I saw a special, and he said the best talk shows are unscripted.
Yeah.
I was like, that's it. So I took all my paper and threw it out.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. Whenever she and I we started this, I would have this long list of things.
Oh yeah.
And I told him, I said, don't do that. It's too scripted. Just fly by your seat.
Yeah. So,
and it turned out so much
well,
better.
now I have to have some things to remember to thank my sponsors and stuff. But other than
that's worth having written down.
Yes.
Both,
of course.
in a great way. Yeah.
Speaking of Jersey Cape Yachts, is my sponsor. So
nice segue.
Up in Jersey.
Yes. And they do custom yachts, and if you need one also on Lake Norman, they can hook you up as well. It's
Was it 35 to 66
it's
feet?
31 to 66
31
feet
to
custom
66.
yachts. Yeah, so they're in Lower Bank, New Jersey. And if you'd also, they have some very nice merchandise. Go to Janine at jerseycapeyachts.com. That's Janine with a G. So check them out. And that's it.
Okay.
Simple as that. And at the end of the show, I have another one. It'll play.
Always.
It plays in my outro as well, but we appreciate them for being on board, as we do our listeners and watchers. And if y'all have any questions, what I'd like to do is
send them on YouTube.
Send them on YouTube, but also put it before your question. Put a big Q. That way I know it's a question, because sometimes they'll get to going chatting back and forth between each other, which is fine. Y'all chat away.
I can screen them too.
But and Tracy's going to
screen. My aunt does that on Pub Table Racers. She says hi to my sisters, hi to her sister. And I'm like, this isn't family hour. This is Pub Table Racers. Damn it, get your own gig and go in there and do that.
That's it.
What is it? What was the Yahoo chat rooms? The chat rooms.
Yeah.
Talk back and forth.
Yeah, you can do it on the YouTube live. Yeah, that's all right.
That's right. But it's all good. Y'all just chat away. We'll see you here
from New Hampshire has just tuned in.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say. I always wanted to say he was from Michigan, but
no,
up in New Hampshire. Have you been to New Hampshire, the racetrack?
Yes. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Seafood there, the lake there. I mean, just you try to go early, so you can take a trip to Maine and get the lobster there.
Sure, I haven't done
Delicious.
that. Yeah. I was impressed by their rock fences everywhere. It seems like everywhere. Like people.
Yeah, that's right. Because the old days they didn't have the wood. They would build the rock fences to keep the horses in and the people out.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. Keep the people out. There you go. Except Dickie Dennis. He'd climb over those rocks and no problem. Yes.
He said everybody starts saying hello on the thread now.
Oh, yeah, of course. Send waves.
You tempted them. That's it. Perfect.
Peace signs.
It's good.
All that kind of stuff.
It's better than the other option.
Yes.
That's right.
So the one finger salute. So let's go back to the very beginning. So So your mom and dad met. They had a romantic night. Oh, I'm just kidding. Not that far back.
Right,
but just from the beginning of where you were born.
Okay. I'll give you the 3/4 beer version.
Yeah.
Grew up in Buffalo, New York. My dad raced. My stepfather raced. My uncle was a starter at several tracks. Growing up, I didn't know anything different. We would race Saturday and Sunday, always be at the track. As time went on, we kind of got away from it. Then my stepbrother started racing again, and my dad got back in it again. And it was always a hobby to me, and I never really thought I could make a living at it. And I was announcing at Lancaster Speedway, and I heard the broadcast of the now Xfinity race, and I said, you know what, I can do better than that. So I took myself back to college at Buff State at the age of 28. I was kind of like a freshman at 28, which the girls were impressed because I had my own car, apartment, and I could buy beer.
There you go.
And so I did that, and I committed myself, this is what I was going to do. And so I started announcing at Lancaster Speedway, Ransomville Speedway. So I had asphalt on Saturday, dirt on Friday. And then I started writing it was called Gator News at the time. And I started writing for the program. So the writing kind of went from there. Moved to Florida, got into motorsports insurance, entertainment insurance. And we were at the PRI show in Columbus, Ohio. And all of a sudden we're at the bar and Mike Joy's standing behind me. I turned to my friends from Buffalo. I said, one of two things is going to happen here. Either I'm going to get a job or I'm going to get my butt handed to me. I turned around, tapped him on the shoulder, introduced myself, told him what I want to do, told him what I'd done. He goes, really? He goes, okay.
That was it.
And I said, you know what? Here's a card. Here's my card.
Yeah.
So, and I was living in Florida at the time. And 2 weeks later, hey, Tim, it's Mike Joy.
Oh, wow.
How'd you like to help out for the speed weeks for Daytona? I go, sure. What do I got to do? He goes, well, you're a pit producer, blah, blah, blah. I said, sure. I didn't know what I was doing. So basically what I did is I took notes that I heard on the radio. And I handed them to Ralph Shaheen and Dick Berggren.
Wow.
So I handed them the information. And the first time I ever saw a pit stop, a NASCAR pit stop, it was Dale Earnhardt. And we were there, and it was like 14, 15, 16 seconds then. I was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
I was standing like, what the hell just happened?
Yes.
Like 4 tires, fuel, gas, adjust, off we go. And a drink of Gatorade. So I did that 1 year, and then a couple of years, and then I kept just being in touch. And then the Florida deal, I went back to Buffalo. I started announcing in Lancaster again, and I just kept making inroads. And I came here, and I said, I'm going to give this a year and see what happens. So I did, and I ended up selling cars and tending bar. But I was making inroads with TBS and CBS and just getting to know people in the sport. And then I went back to Buffalo for 1 year, and a year later, I got hired at NASCAR.com as a writer, which when I first found out what the internet was, not to be funny, the very first thing I dialed up was NASCAR.com.
Yeah.
And now I went there as a writer. Did that for a couple years, won some writing awards, and then Dale Earnhardt Incorporated started a website. And my buddy Warren Brosell, who I do Pub Table Racers with, calls me and goes, hey, man, we're looking for a website guy over here. You interested? I go, hell yeah. That's so I put a resume in. They called, and they said, yeah, we're going to go with someone else. And I knew who they were going to go with, and I knew he wasn't going to stick around. I knew he wasn't going to do it. So I said, well, you know what? When he bails on you, which he's going to, give me a call. He goes, how do you know he's going to bail? I said, because he's looking beyond you. He's looking bigger. And I don't mean in a bad way, but, Marty Smith, look where he is now. So he didn't take it. We both worked at NASCAR.com. And when I said I was leaving, they called me on Christmas Eve. And I go, oh, okay. They're like, well, you were right. I said, well, I don't want to be right, but da-da-da. And we got through the whole thing. And I said, well, let's get down to the business here. What's the salary? When I did the interview, David, I gave him a number just to throw one out there. He says, we thought about what you offered was pretty fair. It was double what I was making.
Oh wow.
On Christmas Eve.
Oh, that's good. That's a good Christmas present.
Hello, Santa.
Yes.
So I went there 4 years there. It was the glory years, Dale Jr., Steve Park, Paul Menard, Michael Waltrip. Like you, I was so used to interviewing people and being on the side. And here we go to Speed Weeks, and we're winning races. And then we win the 500 with Michael.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, we're in Victory Lane. I go, what do we do? What do you do? What do you do? And they're like, oh, you got any goggles? I go, what for? Here comes the beer and champagne.
Sure, yeah.
Burns the heck out of my eyes. And I'm getting goosebumps because it was so cool. Now, you go from being a kid at Buffalo, New York, and Lancaster Speedway announcing, now you're in Victory Lane with a Daytona 500 win.
As they say, living the dream.
Holy crow. And then, I got spoiled there because every plate race we went to, it wasn't if we were going to win, it was which driver was going to win.
Yeah.
With Talladega. And this. So I was there. So 4 years there, and then the demise started to happen. And I was a writer, and then one day Dale Jr. walked in. He goes, hey, Packman, you're Martin Truex's PR guy now. The other guy just left. And he walked out. I go, I guess I'm in public relations. And that started my public relations side of it. So then I went to MRN Radio, did pit reporting, and then the Sirius XM deal started. So I was doing the post-race and like their kind of news editor there. And so I did that. And then a couple other teams I won't go into because they're no longer in business. Had some of those, oh crap, what do I do moments.
Yeah.
You get enticed away, and that was it. And then I went to Richard Childress Racing, where I was the director of corporate communications. And Richard taught me a lot about life, about business, about people. And I got to do some really cool stuff with him. Like 1 minute you're there, and all of a sudden he's like, hey man, we got to go to the club. He owned at the winery. He owned the winery. And we had lunch with Ted Nugent. Talk about his appearance for the NRA, and I'm like,
I'd like to meet him. Yeah.
What? I mean, I love Ted Nugent.
Oh yeah,
love
same
Ted
here.
Nugent. And then just the places we go, his place in Wyoming, and just it was just incredible. You'd end up doing different things. I remember one time we went from Talladega to Las Vegas. We were there 2 days. He spoke in the morning at some convention. We got in the jet. We went to Churchill Downs. He spoke there, did another, and then we went home. And I'm sitting there in Mooresville at my place, and I got takeout food from Churchill Downs.
Yeah.
I'm eating Churchill Downs food in Mooresville, North Carolina. I was just there. I was like, what the hell just happened today?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but
Sure.
Richard taught me a lot. And then, so working there, all of a sudden I got a call from Lancaster Speedway. And they said, hey, we're going through a management change, and word is you might be interested in helping us. Like, what way? I said, well, I'm coming up this weekend for the big, U.S. Open race. So I met with the owners, and he said, we want you to take over the track. Really? The drag strip and the oval track. And I'm like, So I helped out on the stock car side like 4 years before, but the way it was, it didn't work out. So they said, you have full control. We're just the owners, and we'll check in once in a while. Nice. So I said, I'm doing it. So after 3 years there, I was short track promoter of the year, 2 years. And then the 3-year deal was up. And then I was looked to come back here, and then I got a call from Memphis. And I went there, and I won't go into that, but it was be careful what they sell and tell you.
Yeah. Sure.
What you're told and sold and what you get there.
Yeah.
Two different things. So then came back here. Okay, great. I'm going to get back in. And then this coronavirus, I don't know if you heard of it. Yeah. That happened. And then the sport just went.
Oh, yeah.
So like you do things like, okay, what do you like to do? I like announcing. I like running my mouth. I like entertaining people. I like writing. Pub table racers was more.
Yeah.
So out of that. And then it just kept me going and led to the other things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I bored you with all that, but that's
no. It's
that's
very
25
interesting.
years and 1 minute, 2
You've
minutes.
gotten a lot of people
that's
saying
good.
interesting and how cool, and they're jealous.
Yeah.
Which part? Getting fired or working at DI?
Well,
Ted Nugent, I think.
Okay, Ted.
yeah, for sure. I mean, that's an impressive resume.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you've gotten to do things that you're good at
Yeah.
and that you enjoy. And that's very important
Right.
these days. A lot of, we were talking about this yesterday, a lot of parents will say, you need to go to a 4-year college, you need to get a degree, you need to become a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, this kind of stuff. And then they grow up, they go do that, and then they're just miserable because they're like, this is not what I really love doing. Right. And that was kind of one of my deals where I reached the top in NASCAR, as a NASCAR engine builder, winning races. We won a championship, but my heart was kind of somewhere else. And then I decided that if I want to live and continue my life happy, I'm going to have to do something else. So that's what I did. And then one of those things was doing my creative stuff, the radio, for one thing. But you're talking about Lancaster. I have to get it right.
It's
different up there.
So it's Lancaster up there, Lancaster here.
Yes, it is. That's
we used to get calls from there. Hi, man. What's going on Saturday night? Oh, well, and I start naming off. He goes, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, here's what we have going on.
Yeah.
What's that? Blankety blank. I go, sir, are you looking for Lancaster Speedway or Lancaster National Speedway? The track. I go, which state? South Carolina. I said, this is New York State. Okay, got it. So I met the guy one time and I said, hey, I'm from Lancaster Speedway. But he goes, holy crap, we got a lot of calls for you guys.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So another one's Concord.
Concord, yeah.
Concord.
Up north is Concord.
Right.
Here it's Concord.
Yeah. So, but you kind of have an even voice. You don't have that much of an accent.
No, I tried to, when I started doing this, I tried to be, level.
Mellow.
Yeah. Kind of like a Midwestern. They're kind of, for the most, I say that.
Sure.
Depends on where you're from too. You could be from Wisconsin and talk like this.
Oh, they got that twinge.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's good. And one other thing I forgot. In 2003, I got to write a book with my hero, Bobby Allison.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
So we did that. So first time I ever wrote a book. Another case said, yeah, you're going to write it. Oh, okay. So I learned how to write a book. And then I wrote another one, a children's book called Funny Dan, the Race Car Man, which actually won 4 awards.
Wow.
Yeah. And that one's been out for 10 years now.
What is that called?
Funny Dan, the Race Car Man. Based on people I've actually met in Buffalo and friends from high school, and all the characters were named after somebody.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Won
That's
a Mom's
good.
Choice Award. So what's the right?
Well, then we need to talk some more because yes, that's a great Mom's Choice. Because that's something I wanted to do for many years, right? Because I actually, believe it or not, I like to write.
Oh, and what you do, you should.
Yeah. And so to put it into a book or several books, whatever.
Well, the book I really want to write about racing, too many people are still alive.
Yeah, right.
And a lot of them are our age, so that book's not going to get done.
Yeah.
And then coming out soon is another children's book called Petey the Pace Car.
Petey the Pace Car.
Petey the Pace Car.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
Sure.
off air, I guess,
Okay.
maybe.
That's
during
fine.
a commercial
Yeah,
break.
that's fine, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of commercial break, I guess we better take it now.
7:20, right? Geez.
Right quick. So, yeah, time is just flying by.
That's all right.
But y'all just hang out, and we will be right back.
Hey, we've caught up with Ryan Scott at the Randy Marion Ford store. What's going on, Ryan?
Billy Buck, I tell you what, it is always sale time at a Randy Marion store, but I tell you, the Ford store has it going on because we have got 2020 F-150s that must go. I've got them starting at $33,988. That's a super cab, crew cab, four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive. We got plenty in stock. You're probably going by stores where you've seen a lot of asphalt around. Not at Randy Marion Ford. We have got the truck to suit the budget. $33,988. Come see us today.
Parts and Supply, your Auto Plus parts dealer, can get you back to work or back on the road with the parts you need. Johnson's carries Felpro gaskets, standard ignition components, Wagner brakes, Moog chassis parts, plus Gates belts and hydraulic hoses that can be made while you wait. Johnson's also has Wix filters, Anco wiper blades, and other hard-to-find parts. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 6, and Saturday, 8 to 5. Johnson's Parts and Supply, your Auto Plus parts dealer, 1112 Shelton Avenue in Statesville.
All right, we're back on Racing Roots with Hamm right here on 550 AM, 92.9 FM. And if you want to join us here in the studio, well, you can come on down to 101 South Center Street, or you can go onto YouTube.
How much are tickets to get in?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm a promoter. I want to know how much it is.
Hey, now we'll have to
sell some tickets there.
Get something going on that. That's a great idea. Or you can go on to DHammiam on YouTube, and you can see us here. You can also comment, and if you would like to call in, ask questions here on the YouTube channel, and Tracy will screen them and throw them at us. So I think she's got a question for us right now.
We got one question already. What inspired you to write your book?
The Bobby Elson one, the family, it was kind of like with him real quick. It was, he tells all these great stories and he tells them so awesome. So the Bobby Elson, a racer's racer, it's him just telling stories. He said, I don't want to go into, the Davy. I don't want to go into my wreck. I don't want to go into Clifford, all those dead bad. He wanted to be fun. So that's what we did. And in the book, there's a CD of him telling most of the stories in the book.
Oh, that's cool.
Funny Dan the Race Car Man was it's based on a guy named Dan Collins from Buffalo. He had this great attitude. He just went out, he was a street stock racer. Like he had painted on numbers. He just went out and had fun. And I always admired that because if he didn't win, okay, but they always had beers and they had fun with it and you hung out with them. So I just started coming up with different characters in my head, what they would be called. Like Funny Dan, he's the lead guy, but Bobby Champ, Bobby Allison, Racing Ron Hornaday. I included my friends in the pit crew from high school.
Hamm no, I'm just kidding. Oh, from high school. I got you from high school. Okay. I see, yes.
I get it. And I just put it together, and honestly, the book was 3/4 of the way done, and it sat for 6 years.
Wow.
And one time I woke up at 4:30, and I said, time to finish, and I went out, and by 10 o'clock, I had a completed book.
Oh, wow.
And you know what? That's great. It sounds a lot like me in a way because I started a podcast 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. It's called Hamm the Engine Man, which now I'm just going to go back to DHammiam and then do whatever podcast episodes. But I have all of these shows to do the podcast just to pop them on there. All I got to do, but whenever I decide to do it, I'm going to sit down and just do it.
Right. You'd be easier doing an Audible book.
Well,
is
yeah,
what
yes.
you would be easier to do.
Yeah, as far as that goes, yeah, because it's hard anyway.
The easy part of a book is writing it.
Yeah.
The tough part is finding a publisher, illustrator, all the back and forth work, and then selling it.
Yeah. Well, I got a printer, and I got some. I got a stapler. Yeah.
Amazon, self-publishing.
I got some glue and some cardboard. Anyway,
I can't draw with. I can't even draw flies.
Yeah,
I can't draw flies. No, I don't want to draw flies.
Yeah. So Kyle Armstrong sent me a text. He said, "I'm listening to Tim Packman on your radio show. He said, I waved at him as I pulled into Speed Sport to do my podcast just an hour ago. What a busy guy.
Yeah, I went from there to here. So.
Oh, wow.
My voice is a little roach, that's why.
So speaking of guys that we know in common,
he's just like that. Boom.
Yeah, I met him years ago. As a matter of fact, this Blair Motorsports was my nephew raced, and I was building engines for him and carburetors for different people down and some engines for Doug Sanders and people like that, and down at Carolina Speedway and Cherokee, and so. Anyway, that's how I met Kyle Armstrong. Him and his brother Casey and his dad.
Funny, the longer you're in, the
so.
more people, the more people. Yeah.
And I was going to that track when I was 15 and younger, actually, but I got interested and got my first dirt car when I was about 15. So when I first met Kyle, I was like, hey, I already been going here about 15 years before you, but he was kind of old soul. I mean, he's pretty smart for his age.
Yes.
And all.
He does a good job, too.
Just being as young as he is.
Do we have another question?
Yes. R.D. Ford up in New Hampshire says, how is Blair running this year?
Oh, he's talking about my nephew.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he hasn't been running much right now, so he's just mostly been helping out some other guys, and he's working on his new car. So for Carolina Speedway and
getting her ready
and Cherokee. So there's Scott Trevison, the beer man. He says hello from Stuart, Florida. That's right. He's down in Stuart. He was having
He's on his boat, Sea-Tunes.
Getting his maybe his.
I know, such the life.
Beer life is good, I guess.
Right?
Jesus, maybe I should have tried that.
You should have been a beer man.
I'd have a damn good one, too.
You have your own boat by now. Yeah, do something you love, right?
I am. Do you find, there's a question, I'm flipping this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you find that you don't really have a job, your hobby is your job? Because in this sport, and this is what we do, it's like people say, what are your hobbies? And shout out to my girlfriend, Geraldine. I was talking to her the other day. She's in Troutman here and her family.
Awesome.
I was saying, like, I really don't have a hobby.
Yeah.
Like, racing's it.
Right.
And it's like I can go watch a quarter midget show. I can go watch, in football too, my Buffalo Bills. But it's like what we do, like it's my hobby is also my job and it's my passion.
Right.
We'd be broke if we did my passion.
Which is
travel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, through racing, I've been able to travel.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like the two of them.
Right.
Yeah, but now it's different because I'm not directly connected to a team. Like we went to Martinsville, and I woke up and I said, oh, "Crap, I don't have to run to the track."
Yeah. Right.
Like Gerald and I actually we went for a walk.
Yeah.
Along the Danville River, and I was like, "Wait, who knew this was here?"
You don't have to be there at 7 in the morning.
God, no.
I know.
No.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
That's the thing too with me. The difference now is that I used to, when I would go into track, I would get kind of nervous or my adrenaline would start because I'm like, all right, I've got to do pit stops today. I got all this work to do. Now I still get a little bit of that feeling just because of the grandness of the track, but I don't get the adrenaline doesn't build up as much. You know what I mean?
Before I used to,
it's more fun.
Do I have Richard Childress' schedule or driver I'm working for? Do I have pens? Do I have Sharpies? Now it's like, oh, how many beers we got in the cooler? What we got for snacks? And all right, you want to slide some shine in there, some little bourbon in there, and then but it's different. Yeah.
It's
I'm okay with it.
It's like I mentioned earlier. If it's not fun anymore, then it's just not worth doing for me. Even though, there's certain things I have to do, but I pretty much pick my hobbies to do as my job now, and hopefully I can do that the rest of my life.
I guess football's a hobby too.
Well, I was going to ask if you were a Jets fan.
No.
Just to be silly.
No. Blue and die with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or indifferent. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's Sundays. I'm like, okay, here's the deal. This is my time on Sunday, and I'll wake up at 6 in the morning and go, 7 more hours till kickoff.
Sure.
And I travel to go see them, which I couldn't do last year, but yeah.
Is Buffalo near Syracuse?
It's 2 hours away.
Okay. Because my old boss over there, Ralph Yates, was from Syracuse. So
we do have another question.
Go for it.
Karen Baldwin says, what is your favorite Dale story?
Oh.
And you laughed when you said that, so you must know her.
Well, yeah. I guess my favorite Dale story, I just remembered it. I'm working at NASCAR.com. It's the old media center in Charlotte. And we were in the back row facing the wall. And there was a door, like a little side door that really didn't get used a lot. Well, all of a sudden, the door opens one time, and it's me, and the door's right in a little space, and then there's a door. The door opens, and I didn't look, but all of a sudden, they said when you enter a room, the air would change. And I'm sitting there away, and all of a sudden I turn slowly, and I look, and I go, hey. He goes, what's up, man? I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm just looking around. I said, looking for anybody particular? He goes, nah, not really. He goes, all right, have a good day, man. Shuts the door.
Yeah.
And it was like me and Marty Smith was sitting next to me because he was right at NASCAR.com. And we were like, what the hell was that? That was weird. And other people were like going, what was that? I go, that was just weird,
Yeah.
But But so I really wasn't around him because when I went to work there, he had already been gone for 2 years. But that's when I started, and he was, and when he won in '98, I remember I was with CBS and I walked across the infield and I picked up a bunch of blades of grass where he did the burnout. So I have those. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would do for sure.
Well, you didn't know then, but you're like, I'm walking across, I'm gonna pick up some of these. They're not gonna miss a few blades.
No.
So when he won in '98, I was the jackman for Sterling, and we had a good run there towards the beginning of the race, but we were having some issues, as other people did too, with our lifters falling apart, stellate falling out of cams and things like that. So we kind of didn't end up doing, exactly, yes. We didn't end up running as good as I was hoping that day. So when Earnhardt won, it was kind of like I wasn't even thinking, I guess selfishly now looking back, because I wish that I would have went out there and, done like everybody else. But I remember going back, putting pit stuff away, and I'm just looking around like, where is everybody at? We got to get this stuff put up so we can go home. Line, and they're all out there lined up too.
So that line when Dale's going and he turns off, I was about 20 or 25th person in line because I was supposed to be running to the gas pump with CBS, and I'm like, Ralph will make it fine. He doesn't need me to go there. Yeah. Because I'm like, I could take this epic moment, or I can be a good guy and do what I'm supposed to do. But then he peeled off, and I'm like, damn it. So I was like, all right, whatever, and I went over there. But it was just. And the crowd. You remember the crowd? Yeah. Do you remember a lot? And the crowd didn't leave. They stayed there.
Yeah, they did.
It sounded like when Dale Jr. won in 2001.
Well, I have to apologize for you because he peeled off to come find me. That's what he was doing.
Really? Right out there in the infield did the burnout that happened to look just like a 3? Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But yeah, the crowd, man. The crowd would go crazy whenever he would take the lead, especially we talk about this all the time, Talladega, places like that. When Earnhardt would take the lead, it was like, wow. And I would look at my other crew guys just like, you see this.
We don't get this.
Yeah, I know. We take the lead. It's like
Sterling is
and Sterling will come on. Car's just a little bit tight, guys. I can't wait to get another Coors Light. Make sure I got me some cold ones ready for me.
That sounds like him.
Yeah. Hey, beer man, make sure you got me some cold ones in the cooler for me. Yes.
And that's why it's a nice boat now.
Exactly. Yes. He did something right. Yes. All right, Super Jason's tuned in there with us.
Woo-hoo,
all right, so
he says.
Yeah, woo. That's it.
That's
all right, so you're let's see, not Pub Table Racers, but the newest one is actually only a podcast, right? That's the one you do.
The Garage Shop or How I Got Here?
How I Got Here.
Okay, that's strictly right now just an audio podcast. Okay. On Speed Sport and NASCAR Digital Media. Okay. And then I guess it's going to go Spotify and all the other ones. No, it's out there right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and pretty soon, you just reminded me, a couple weeks, Pub Table Racers is also going to be over on there, just the audio part of it, on the Speed Sport and NASCAR network. I don't know if NASCAR's going to like some of the stuff we say, but it's not bad. It's just how we act. The clinking you hear is beers coming out of the bucket.
Yes.
But that's okay. They can't see us drinking them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, I get it. And some of the sometimes I'll have my guests on here and they'll say, well, I don't know if I should say this. I'll say, okay, statute of limitations, it's okay.
It's okay, yeah.
That person's dead or whatever. It's all good. Go ahead and tell the story. But I hold back more than anything, like especially with some of the engine stuff, especially from Roush Yates. I don't want to talk anything about anything we did there.
Because they're still in business and doing well.
Yeah, because they're still in business, yes, and doing very well. So anything from the past, though. But I would like to have a show one of these days.
And the worst part is they can find you because all the stuff you're doing.
For sure. Yes, man. Well, I've had Doug Yates on here too.
Yeah, good guy.
Jeff Clark.
Yeah, Jeff's great. Jeff. Working with Jeff at Dale Incorporated. I mean, we called him Tarzan. Here's this tall, great-looking guy, and like we go out, and like we'd be sitting at the bar. It's like Phoenix, and Warren was with me the one time. We're sitting there, and all of a sudden these drinks come over, and we're like, who are these for? These for? And like, these are for you. These are for you. These are from the girls over there. These from those girls over there. Yeah. And finally, Jeff goes, I can't drink all these. Y'all take some. I'm like, okay, fine. So we would just, we'd sit and hang out with him. Girls are buying him drinks. We're like, and girls would come up to the pick box going, is Jeff Clark here? Yeah. Is Jeff here? We're like, he is. He'll be like, oh, okay, I'll wait for him over here. And you're like, oh boy, there's another one. Yeah. But he's also a good guy too.
Oh yeah.
He can't help it to be so damn good looking.
I know he's the epitome of physical shape to be a jack man. And when I was
gas man, jack man,
and a gas man too. Whenever I was going to be, all right. So my very first pit crew competition, whenever I was the jack man, my first one was in '95, where I did a pit sign, grabbed a hose, grabbed a tire at Rockingham. And the next one was in 96. And so I go up to Jeff Clark and ask him, I was like, hey, can you give me any pointers? Because he was the one I looked up to. Like, I wanted to be like him.
Right.
And our trainer was the Hank Alstonmore, who was his trainer. So every time I was in a workout room and I would say, hey, what can I do? He'd say, well, Jeff Clark does this or Jeff Clark does that. It was always, all right, fine. I'm trying my best. But then Jeff gave me a compliment. He told me that I was faster getting around a car. I'm sure he was just being nice, but anyway.
That's right. It made you feel good, right?
But it made me
Because
feel
you're
good. Yeah. My legs are.
He's a tall guy.
I got a long torso and a little bit shorter legs. Whatever. Yeah, I'm a freak. No, I'm kidding. It's all good. So, we always talk about. Somebody asked me a Sterling Marlin story. We always ask that of our guests. Do you have any Sterling Marlin? But I thought I would throw this one out there because my buddy Scott Feltenhausen sent me this. And I know something that's kind of been going around, how Sterling would say, we had the wrong gear, the wrong springs, the wrong shock, and the wrong car. We had the right beer, but other than that, we got stomped. Sterling Marlin. Dover, 2002.
Yep. Yeah, he's a character.
Yeah.
So Rachel has another question.
Yes.
She says, does Tim have a favorite sports reporter who inspired him growing up?
I guess I used to read a lot of Sports Illustrated, but Chris Economaki, I mean, he was the epitome of, here we are in the pits right now at Daytona International Speedway, and Dale Earnhardt is out front. Right now, looks like he can win. But he just had that. But he was so good, and he gave me the one piece of advice. He said, Tim, don't make a statement, ask a question. Your car is fast, you finish fifth. That's not a question. That's a fact. So the question, and he said, go to the second place guy and say, what kept you from winning today? What kept third place guy? What was it keeping you from getting in victory lane? That's a question. So yeah, he's one I looked up when I first got here. David Poole was someone who,
Charlotte Observer.
Yeah, Charlotte Observer. He was someone that I looked up to because he can be a jerk sometimes, and he knew it.
Yeah.
But he can get full of himself. But he also was very good at what he did, and he asked questions, and he taught me. Just by association, being around him, he taught me how to be a better writer.
Yeah.
So if I was a pick two right there.
That's cool. I was friends with Tom Higgins.
Oh, Higgins, yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah. And
I wasn't around during. He was retired by the time I got here. But
right. Yeah.
I'd run into Mooresville once in a while, and I just pick his brain.
Yeah, in Mooresville. Yeah. I coached his grandson in Mooresville.
Oh, Dick Bergeron. I got to mention him. When I was at CBS Sports and the writing, and I call him Uncle Bergie because he was just the epitome of. He was into what he did. He was very passionate, knowledgeable, and some guys just kind of mail it in. Dick Bergeron, he showed up and he had his stuff together. He knew what he was talking about, and he told a great story.
Did his homework.
Yes.
Pretty
Always
much.
do your homework.
Yeah.
Because you can only fool them for so long before they go, how come you didn't know that?
Yeah, that's for sure. Yes, good point. And speaking of Tom Higgins, I remember talking to him about David Poole because I was like, I was a little disappointed in the difference. It was a different in writing, totally different. Yeah. And but he defended David Poole. So
it was a new era.
It was. But I always listened to or read Tom Higgins's articles, growing up and whatever, living down in Charlotte. And then whenever I was coaching baseball, and it just so happened he showed up, and I was like, hey, I know you. and I was like, what brings you here? And he's like, that's my grandson, Jeffrey, over there. And I was like, wow, this was really cool. So, and he would come to a lot of the games, and then another year I coached him. But yeah, great to be around those guys like that. The what I consider legends and legends of the sport, and they're legendary in their time. And whenever you're around them at the time, going to the racetrack and all that stuff, you don't think much of it. It's just like, well, it's another day at work. Sure. We're around these guys every weekend. But then years later, but you also know you're around greatness because that's the ones you knew before you even got into the sport. You knew them. They didn't know you, but you knew them. But now it's like looking back, it's like, man, I'm so glad that I was there through all those years for sure.
No, that's cool. And like you being around them all the time, like, oh, hey, there's Dale Jr., there's Martin Truex, Johnny Benson, I'm good friends with him, Ron Hornaday, good friends with him. But there's still that, respect, and they tell their stories. But if I was out and about and I ran into Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills, I'd go into total fanboy mode. Oh my God, hey Josh, hi. I was at the Nashville game years ago. Yeah, I mean, I'm not around them, and it's something different, Mm-hmm. I say that, but Play it cool.
Well, and play it cool. That's exactly right. And people used to ask me that all the time. Hey, so how do you feel about being around these every week? Cool. Yeah. And I'd be like, well, I just look at it like we all kind of work together, or we're opponents to each other, but they have their job and I have mine. I'm jacking the car, and I'm building the engines, and they're driving the car. That's their job. Exactly. This is my job. But they make a lot more money doing their job.
And they have T-shirts and hats and stuff like that. I remember when I first moved here, we used to go to a place called Rockin' and Racing.
Yes.
On 150, coldest beer. Oh yeah. And you could run into like everybody, John Darby, series officials, drivers. And one time we're in there, and Jimmy Johnson, he just started at Hendrick. I used to hang out with him a lot. And he goes, good God, Tim, all the people want to talk about is racing. I go, what do you want to talk about? He goes, I don't know. I said, how about, girls. And he goes, yeah, let's talk about that. Okay, so that's what we talked about. And it was just because they get tired of talking about it too. But they said, well, how do you approach them? You just say, how you doing? Hey, how are you? Never, and Jim Kelly from the Bills taught me, don't ever approach me while I'm eating. Really? Not when I'm eating. That's the only time, and I've always kept that as a rule for everybody. You're eating, let you go.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
I guess that makes sense. Nobody wants to talk with food in their mouth, and it is kind of rude to interrupt someone. Yes.
Yeah, but there's other people that I just want to stop. Don't mean to bug you, but like I go out with the dinner with Bobby Allison lunch, and every time someone stops, he goes, "Hey, Mr. Allison, I don't mean to bug you." He goes, he likes it because he quit racing in '88.
Yeah. And
people still revere that man. I do. I do. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Big time.
Bobby's tough, man. I had Donnie in here. And I've had different people in that have been like, I'm just glad people still remember me. Right. Ted Musgrave was one, and then Donnie and Bobby, hanging around them in different places, and people coming up to them. They really seem to appreciate it, and
they've got great
like
stories too.
And they got great stories, for sure. And Donnie, you start talking to him about racing and stuff, and he does not mind telling you a story.
Oh yeah,
and
the way he saw it.
Yeah.
But see, people, was it 1970? He ran fourth in the Indy 500, and then the next day went to Charlotte and won the Coca-Cola 600 in 1970.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like the double was one of the first ones, and for years he was the highest finishing rookie. And Bobby ran 2 Indy 500s too, but rarely talked about because they're so NASCAR centric.
Right.
I had the privilege one time of sitting in a suite that Bobby and Donnie get for the Charlotte events, and then people buy tickets to go sit with them and everything.
Yeah.
But what they do is they sit across the aisle in the top row or across from each other, and they go back and forth talking. I just sit there and take it all in.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I'm just fanboy mode. I'm just sitting there going, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just listen.
Dickie Dennis has a funny question. He says, can you catfish? What's your biggest catch?
Catfishing.
I like catfish. I don't fish for it. Yeah.
Catfish are fun to catch.
Oh, yeah. Salt and pepper. Cook them up. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. They're bottom feeders, too.
They're good when they're fried.
But yeah, they are good. That's for sure.
I learned to like those in Memphis. Yeah.
Yeah. What we're talking about Bobby, though, he has like some of the most fascinating stories about how he'll, race here, and he'll jump in his plane, fly himself to this track and get out and go and race at this other track. And it's just like, man, that guy was just like, he was the original Iron Man, it seemed like.
Oh, yeah, because he'd race his short track program. He'd book himself here or there. And he tells a great story how he booked himself in 2 races in one night in 2 different areas, but he sent Neil Bonnet. And he told him, he goes, I'm not going to make it. Neil Bonnet, who's Neil Bonnet? They're gonna get mad. Da, da, da. Well, Neil Bonnet goes, puts on a great show, wows the crowd. Bobby calls him up. And they go, how'd it go? He goes, man, when can you send back Neil Bonnet? And he goes, when do you want him? Because Bobby went and did the deal there. But so that's how Neil Bonnet got to start with the Allisons like that, and that's where he rose to fame from there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I always liked Neil Bonnet. He was a good one.
Never met him, never met Davey.
I didn't either.
Never met Clifford, but the stories and everything. But, Bobby's just, I don't know. He's just an amazing guy in so many ways.
Yeah. And
I'm very fortunate we wrote the book. And I joked, they're like, oh, you relative? I said, no, we wrote a book in 2003, and I never went away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're on 18 years of, hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Talking about approaching people while they're eating dinner, Jim Dooley says don't approach them if they're playing harmonica either.
Oh, yes. And you cannot. Jim Dooley's up in Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't eat cornbread and play the harmonica either. There's just no way.
And you pull out a harmonica.
Of course, yes. I'll leave it here.
He's mastered Happy Birthday.
That's what you got down somewhere?
Anybody got a birthday?
Somebody does.
Oh, Joey Logano's birthday's today.
Is it?
Yeah.
Joey's the sweetest
That's in my
guy.
notes. Joey Logano and, some
Tell-
other people.
Tell Tim the story about Joey and the Penske party.
31 years young. Which one? At Penske?
At the Penske party.
Don't remember.
What I said.
Forgot.
He
That's
had
a long
just
time
won the
ago.
race.
3 years ago.
And I said, how does it feel to have a ring?
Yes.
He said, great. I said, that's awesome. I said, David's got 13.
Oh, that's right.
Between the,
That's
the
right.
500 and
Yeah.
the championship.
I forgot about that.
13?
How can you
You did
forget
say
that?
that.
Damn, 13?
Yeah.
13
And I was like,
rings.
oh, okay. I mean,
He's
because
like,
you're
man,
like
you got 13?
Yeah.
He
his
was
moment
impressed.
there.
Yeah, that's fine. But
He's
still,
got his
hey,
rings
you got to
and
bring it
then-
back down.
But
My
then
point
he's
was that he-
31 and I'm 50. So
Yeah, my
I've
point
been around
was is
longer,
that
I
he
guess.
was with a good team
Yes.
to be able to get
Right.
more rings.
That's true, yes.
That was my point.
Yes. No, you're fine. I mean, that was
Yeah.
good.
I wasn't trying to make him feel bad.
That was good. I'm just telling you my thought whenever you said that was I was kind of like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes, but it
That's
was
all right.
good.
Do you ever wear yours?
I've actually had them on like this before, but there's really no need in wearing them.
You wore them one to the
I
party.
will. Yeah, I'll
wear
wear. Let's say each one that I've gotten, I wear one time.
Okay. A year.
Yeah.
Probably.
Right after I get them, like to the team party, and that's about it. I know my championship from 2004 with Kurt Busch, that one I've worn several times.
Okay.
Because that was the only Cup championship I had from 2004 to 2018. No, 4 with Roush Yates,
It's one thing I don't have.
and to 2018. Yeah.
I have 2 500s. Supposed to have 5 championship, but the 2 with Truex, the rings never came through. I'll leave it at that.
Right, and that
They were
happens
paid for, I heard, and they
sometimes.
didn't come through.
Yeah.
And then a couple Coca-Cola 600s, and then and I'm supposed to have, and one I forgot to get was from the Brickyard with Ty Dillon in Xfinity. But the guy that runs it says, anytime you want, just give me a call. I have all the molds. I go, really? He goes, yeah, we just got to pour the stuff in there. I go, all right.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
So I'm like, okay, let's maybe do that
Yeah.
someday.
You should just go ahead and do it.
I know.
Right, tonight after this show.
If not, you'll regret it.
So I wear
Or
mine for
tomorrow,
special
yeah.
occasions. Like if
Yeah.
it's if I go to Daytona, the day of the 500, I'll wear usually the junior one, sometimes the Michael one, but that's usually it. But then if it's like a special occasion or something's going on, I'll throw one on.
I think you wore one when we went to the Hall of Fame induction.
You got to do it. You got to wear one.
Yeah,
Because
true.
everybody else is all
Yeah.
bedazzled up with theirs.
Right.
But you only wear one. You don't want to
No.
No.
You don't want to.
No.
You don't want
You don't
to
wanna
crap.
show off
You don't want
too
to crap it
much.
up. No.
No.
Yeah.
It's usually if I have a suit on, I'll wear it.
Yeah,
I don't want to Mr. T it up, I guess.
that's right.
Something
You
like
can wear a
that.
necklace one. You can wear.
Yes, that's it. Exactly.
I didn't make it through the metal detector, but that's all right.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's good. We always talk about that. Who has them? I know guys that have boxes of them, and
Yeah.
they just sit in a box, and people go, "Hey, here's my rings," and they flip them down. It's like,
Right.
okay,
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You get them and you're like, okay, now what do I do with them?
Right.
Wear them every once in a while.
Yeah.
They're good to, and then you pass them down, but then what are they going to do with them? I don't know. But they're good to have. It's kind of
Sure.
like having the trophies, that kind of stuff. And there's a story kind of behind each one.
sure.
From
Kind of like a
the-
T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Every T-shirt you have has a story.
My very
the
first
cops
one
come?
I've got from
Is that the
it's
cops or the
it's,
firemen?
probably Station 1 down here
Okay.
in Statesville.
I'm like, what do? We do anything wrong? As a fireman.
Yeah, so
Pull over.
if you're listening on the radio, they're headed down east. They're headed towards East Broad Street. Yes.
Would you like to do a traffic report?
Oh yeah, traffic report. Well, speaking of, I guess we better go do our commercials now.
there
We
you go.
got to pay some bills, so y'all just hang on. We'll be right back to Racing Roots with Hamm.
Ryan Scott here at Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville. Tell us what's going on now.
What is going on at Randy Marion Chevrolet? How about deals? Deals. 2017 Chevrolet Cruze starting at $79.88. Yes, I said that slow, so you got it. $79.88. You will not beat that deal. We've got all colors, LTs, LSs. Come check them out today. And I tell you what, Randy Marion sells a lot of cars, but I bet there's one thing you didn't know about Randy Marion. He wants to buy your car. We're looking for quality pre-owned inventory. So come see us today at Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville. You'll leave here with cash in your pocket. Come see us today.
Typical bank, right, Doug Hendricks?
It's a great little bank. We're based out of Mooresville. All of our board of directors, our employees, and the vast majority of our customers are all from right here in Iredell County. So it's a great place to be. We have a great time as a team. The team here in Statesville consists of Jennifer Jolly and Tara Summers. They are the primary customer service folks for business and personal banking. Then we have Tom Kincaid as a commercial banker for this area. We also have the best mortgage banker in the area. That's Lisa Culvard, who many people have worked with at other banks. She's been in the market for over 20 years doing mortgages. And then yours truly, Doug Hendricks. And we have a great time working together. There's no competition between our employees for accounts or whatever. And because of that, then we don't have a lot of the issues that some banks have with people doing things they probably shouldn't do just to make a sale.
Blue Harbor Bank with locations in Statesville, Mooresville, and Huntersville. Member FDIC. Could you get excited about $1?
$1 makes me holler, honey boo boo.
Well, perhaps not that excited, but you can be excited about riding iCats for $1. That's right. You can ride iCats anywhere in Iredell County for only $1. The Iredell County Area Transportation System, iCats, is a community transportation program that serves the general public of Iredell County. iCats buses are clean and comfortable, and don't worry because iCats follows all COVID-19 protocols. Find out more about iCats online at rideicats.com or call 704-873-9393.
This is William Morgan with Capital Management Group. Think of all the fads you've seen over the years. If they were meant to last, you'd still be wearing platform shoes, driving a Firebird, playing Packman. But fads don't last, and that's true in finance too. So why do many big financial institutions promote the latest investment fads? Sure, they look good now, but it's doubtful they will stand the test of time. If that's how these firms handle their money, do you really want them managing yours? At Capital Management Group, we invest with sound economic principles, not in fleeting trends. This approach has served our clients well for several generations. Sound financial advice never goes out of style. Let's talk about how Capital Management Group can work for you. Call us at 704-878-6677 for a free consultation or visit our website at mycmg.net.
All right, we're back on Racing Roots with Hamm right here on 550 and 92.9 WAME. And we've got Tim Packman in here with us, who is let's see, what would you describe your job description? It's not even really a job, though. It's more like your hobby description. I mean,
right now I'd say I'm a podcast host and writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's that's it. Right. Podcast and YouTube. Now, do you consider YouTube and Facebook Live is kind of like, would that be like vlogging? I don't know. I've never thought about it.
It's called, everything's a podcast now. It's audio, video, both.
Right. Yeah.
So, that's what what are you doing? I have 3 podcasts that I am involved with and do some writing.
Yeah. There you go. All right. That's it. That's easy enough, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Put a nutshell.
Well, it's good to have you up here, though.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming up. And because you're really not that far away. You're just down in Mooresville.
Mooresville, yeah. Easy.
So where do you do your shows from?
We do How I Got Here at the Speed Sport studio off Exit 33. The Garage Shop, we do sometimes there. It's in Denver. Sometimes, like, we're going to interview Johnny Benson on Wednesday. We'll go to his place. We went to Arkansas. We can go anywhere with that one. And Pub Table Racers on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. We do, we call it the Honeysuckle Creek Loop Studio. It's actually Warren's man cave. And we put 2 pub tables together, a pub table, and it's like a little set. And when we're done, like, we weren't even there. Okay. When people come over and go, we thought you were really at a pub. I'm like, well, we're at a pub table.
Yeah.
That's about, and then when they're done, that's it. We put it all away. I go, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
On the set. Yeah, that's cool. You should have, there's some people that have been on my show that you probably would enjoy having on your show as well.
Sure.
We'll have to get together on some of that stuff.
Oh, I'd love to.
And one of them would be Marlon Yoder, who was the Amish kid that came from, where was it? What's up there in, I was going to say Pennsylvania, but I think it was Wisconsin or somewhere.
I thought Wisconsin.
Really? Yeah, I'm thinking so. And so he left there to get into because he wanted to get into NASCAR, and he ended up getting a job. Long story short, he went to work for Jimmy Johnson's team.
Okay.
And now he races, and he's winning races. He races at Tri-County.
Really?
Yep.
Good for him.
So and he's with the 5 car. with Kyle.
It's amazing.
Yep. So
everyone has like I said, how I got here. Everyone has a story.
Yeah.
And the thing that it's not easy. I mean, everyone, they have to pay their dues before they get in the sport.
Yeah.
It's not like you walk into IBM. I'm out of college, I get a job. I mean,
earn your stripes.
I mean, I couldn't even tell you the stuff I was, like I said, selling cars, tending bar, the stuff you would do that just to make ends meet so you could chase your dream. And then when you get to your dream, then you still have to keep going and maintaining because there's 100 guys that have a resume right after you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
That's true. Well, we do have 2 questions now.
Go for it.
Oh, 2.
Yeah. So the first one is from Jim Dooley. He says he admires you for your passion.
Thank you.
And then he wants to know what you want to be when you grow up.
I'm holding up my girlfriend before you hire in Statesville. I said I'd give her a plug tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Good.
There you go.
If you pre-screening and drug testing for people before you hire people.
Well, you can tell about it if you want to.
No, it's fine. She 21 years in the business, 20 years, and very successful. And she does a lot of great work with school systems and DOT and trucking companies. So that's all. So give her a shout.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Geraldine.
Geraldine. Okay.
Right. No I, Jerlyn. Yeah.
All right.
She's hating this. I'm doing this right now.
Geraldine. Oh, is she? Yeah. I was wondering if she was tuned in on YouTube here. If you'd like to tune in on YouTube, if you're listening on the radio, you go to DHammiam. That's D as in David, Hamm with 2 M's, and then I am. Kind of like a play off of the Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. Da da da.
Perfect.
Yes. So anyway, what's
the question again?
The question is what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be an owner of a Batmobile.
There you go.
Okay.
Why not?
And what was the other part of the question?
He just said he
I saw your
admired
picture.
your
Oh,
passion.
thank you. Yeah, this sport has kicked me in the teeth. I've lost, made a move that was stupid, and I lost my broadcasting career. And then I made another move that was stupid, and I ended up losing personally, financially, and mentally wise. But I just can't go away. I don't know what else to do. I mean, I've been in job interviews, and the guy says, "Yeah, I'd hire you, but I get a funny feeling the minute you get a call from one of your race car buddies, you're out of here." I go, "You're right." So that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started doing all this stuff. It's like, hey, this is kind of fun, like you.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah. But I tell them thank you. I appreciate that.
Good. And let's see. Rachel says, looking at NASCAR through the years, what were the best and worst changes of NASCAR?
The best was the safety. Unfortunately, we had to lose Dale to do that, but we have not lost anybody on track since. The safety innovations that came along the way were phenomenal. Everything from the cockpit where the drivers sit to the foam on the side to moving and the extra bars, and so they've always done that. The worst move ever was the COT. The car tomorrow was the biggest debacle, dumbest thing.
Yeah,
set them back years.
Right. And
now they're trying to now I got the new car coming out, and there's some things there that I find interesting. People are whining about the one lug nut. And I'm going to ask you, did you ever tune in a race to watch them change tires or to watch the race?
Right.
And if one lug nut's going to keep you away, then you weren't really into it to begin with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like saying, hey, I didn't go to that sporting event because I didn't like the hot dogs.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
You didn't like the hot dogs. Okay, but did you go there for the hot dogs or for the sporting event?
Yeah. There you go.
Jerks.
That's it. I mean, if you don't, well, and sometimes that's not the exact kind of fans that that they really want to have whatever. So I don't know. I guess in a way.
Yeah, I think that's it. Those are the 2 things if I was to pick. Off the top of my head. That's it. That's it right now.
That's all the questions.
Bring those questions, kids.
Throw them some more.
Lines are open.
There you go.
Yeah, so if y'all want to give a call, if you're listening on the radio, or you can give us a call here at 704-873-9929. That's 704-873-9929. And we will get your call on the air. And don't be shy. Just call in and ask any question.
Yeah, we can't see you.
Ask him what his favorite kind of beer is. Whatever you want to ask.
Depends on which day.
Yeah, there you go. And so,
where I'm at, yeah.
Yeah, so you said you run into, Joe Bondi the other day, I guess you saw.
Over at Red Buffalo.
At Red Buffalo.
Yeah, I walked in, I was like, hey. And I'm like, I'm noticing the Bills and the Sabre stuff. Yeah. And he goes, yeah, I'm from there. I go, whereabouts? And we started talking and find out that he lived in Clarence, where I graduated high school in 82.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I was I tried to get over there tonight, but they're closed on Monday.
Right. A lot of places around here are closed.
Blueberry is amazing.
On Monday. Yeah, I like the blueberry ale's good.
Yeah.
For sure. And and the Chillbillies, and they actually have a Clock Tower IPA as well, which is for this Clock Tower.
So I gotta be honest, I've spent most of my years have been in Mooresville.
Yeah,
it's all I knew. Lake, between 25 and 36, that's where I lived. And now I'm like seeing Troutman, beautiful town.
Yeah,
came here Friday night, walked around different places. Awesome city. Is it a city?
Yeah, it's a town. It's a town.
Yeah, whatever. But it's amazing. And the architecture, I was big into that. And the first thing I noticed was the clock tower. And I was like, that's just amazing architecture and the stories. And and the courthouse down there.
Yeah.
The school too.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it's beautiful. It's Americana.
Yes, for sure.
So come to Statesville, check it out.
Yeah, definitely. And so you should told me you were coming up here. I'd have come up and met you, but we have our music.
It's kind of last minute.
Yeah, you should come out on a Wednesday night. We usually have some really good music here on the stage behind you.
Right.
It's every Wednesday night at 7:30. We have our Piedmont Folkways show.
Okay. Very good.
And yeah, so this weekend
it's a happening city.
It is. There's always something going on here, especially now that things are opening back up.
Yay.
We have
back
different.
to life.
Yes.
We have
hey y'all, how y'all been?
Delaney's Sports Bar down here. They'll have live music. Red Buffalo always has live music. Wine Maestro, 220 usually have an artist.
I went
playing.
to Wine Maestro the other night.
Okay, yeah.
If you can't find a beer you like there,
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say
or wine.
Yes, they have the huge selection for sure. Rachel's got a question there, Tracy.
Yeah.
You
Does Tim have a favorite racing movie or song?
I don't know about a song, but if it was to pick a movie, I guess I would have to go back to Days of Thunder just because it was one of the original, and it's still funny. And if it's on, I'll still watch it. And because you know it, but you know it, so you watch it. I mean, what was the other one? Talladega Knights. When they did the first cut, because we were with Martin Truex and the Bass Pro Shop teams was parked next to all those guys. So we were in the movie, and then the first cut we were in it, and then when it made it to the theater, we weren't in it.
Oh,
so
man.
I was like, damn it, I dressed nice that day too.
Yeah.
And I was I was in a white shirt, so they were like, stand right there. Your white shirt sticks out from the. And they said, don't look at the camera. I'm like, okay, but like we were behind the pit box, and I was talking with Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
And then the guys were all sitting in the hall, and I just went and sat down and talked with them because they weren't going anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, they were great. It was like how you approach them,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think they're both. I think both are classics.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yep. They're Talladega Nights. Some people were mad at first because it was like they're making fun of NASCAR, but then if you really watch it and laugh and for what it's worth, I mean, it's a funny movie.
If you think it's legit, it's supposed to be a comedy. I think they call it a comedy.
Satire.
Satire, comedy. Yeah.
Of course, it
but
is.
The classic lines from Days of Thunder, you can just rattle those off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that movie, that one draws me in. Well, both of them draw me in. Every time I see it on TV, I'm like, all right, I got to watch this.
And throwing Animal House, that's the other one I watch.
Animal House, yes.
That's my favorite movie.
There you go. Yeah. So, and then the barn that was in Days of Thunder down in Mooresville.
Sits there. Nobody knows what it's about.
Yeah.
Just sits there, and people drive by it every day, and they have no idea that's the iconic.
Yeah.
One day I want to sneak in there and just get a board, just to have one for.
No.
But I don't know who owns it. It just they don't do anything with it.
Right.
It just sits there.
And they sell Christmas trees around Christmas time.
Now they're doing potted plants and other things like that. But whatever.
Yeah. If they ever decide to tear that down, I'm going to do exactly what you're saying. I'm going there and
sure.
And
if they say we're tearing it down, it'll be stripped to those that have nothing left to tear down.
Yes. If you want to take a piece of it, come get it. And
guys who
everything
showed
will
up
be
with
gone.
buzz saws. Okay, I got my part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who do you want to see? Tracy, got that question?
Oh.
There's a Q in front of it, which is perfect.
Yeah, she's got a second part to her first question, though. How much does Tim think movies and song influence the sport?
I don't know about song too much because there's not a whole lot of racing songs. I mean, you have Talladega, but I wouldn't say there's a whole lot of racing songs per se. But the movies, people might not go to an actual NASCAR race, but they might see the movie. Oh, that's kind of cool. And I know, like, growing up in Buffalo, the people, my friends in high school and that didn't know anything about racing, and like they'll see me go, hey, I saw what you're doing now. It's kind of cool. The kid from our class is doing that. and then they'll watch it a little bit, and then their kids might get into it. But yeah, but my racing friends, I know they're watching it because that's my friends are.
Yeah.
Back to the hobby, passion.
Exactly.
What you do for a living.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So one of the songs, sometimes I'll open up my show. Well, I don't play it on YouTube because I don't want to get the copyright thing, but it's the name of Dale, Darrell, Waltrip, Richard Petty, Rusty, Awesome Bill, Irvin Gordon, Hart Smith, Johnson Jr.,
Yeah.
Tim Wilson song.
The Tim Wilson song, that's a funny one.
Yeah, that's a good one. And there's Brooks and Dunn. I think it's Sunday Money. And there's some Strucker Ace, or it's not Strucker Ace. It's Charlie Daniels Band. He does one that's from the Strucker Ace movie. I know this because I've sat down and done some deep diving. Because for my radio show, I have to pull up music, and if I'm going to talk about NASCAR, or if I'm going to play songs about NASCAR, I had to dig deep. But yeah, I wish there was more though, because I mean, heck, why not? Maybe we should write songs. We like to write.
Don't ask.
So
there might be one I've been toying with for a while.
Oh, okay. We won't let.
I can't play an instrument, but I can do the words.
Yeah,
I'm good with the words.
Yeah.
Well, Rachel's got another question.
Boy, Rachel's on a roll.
She is. Yes. She helps out with the NASCAR Hall of Fame a lot of times. Rachel Rodman down in Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She said, "Is there someone Tim wants to see inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame?"
Jeff Bodine and Smokey Yunick.
Yes.
Yep.
Smokey he might be one of the last ones, but he's definitely way deserving. But I think I think NASCAR's kind of shunned him, but they're coming back around.
Well, they've changed the ceremony.
Yeah.
It was 5, now it's 3. But I mean, Jeff Bodine, a lot of people didn't like him, but he was innovative in a lot of things that he did. And you take the battles with him and Earnhardt through the years that went on, that they finally got called down to Daytona and said, okay, enough. He goes, you can, Bill France Jr. says you can kill each other, but you're not going to kill my sport. I just think those are iconic moments. And, when he won was it 84? When he won the 500, he could be found afterwards across the street helping his mom and dad sell T-shirts out of a souvenir trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good guy.
But I mean, those are just neat stories about him that, the things he brought, to the sport.
And he got in that. Last time I saw him, we were sitting on the airplane and he was showing on his laptop from his crash in the Truck Series race.
I was there for that one.
And it was, pretty bad.
Yeah. I just talked to him. I sent him a text today because through I helped him. He was selling all of his stuff. He was like, I'm selling everything, my Martinsville clocks, blah, blah, blah. So I helped him facilitate the publicity to get it out there. So through that, I now possess his 1982 Firecracker 400 pole trophy.
Oh.
But the tough part is having to explain to people how I won a pole a month out of high school.
Yeah.
But I have that. It still sits in a place of prominence.
How much did that cost you?
I'm
just kidding.
No, I helped him out. So.
Got another question.
Sure.
Jerlyn Dishman.
Okay.
She says, what is one memory being in NASCAR that will never be forgotten in your mind?
There's so many. I'm going to be really honest. When I went down for the Hall of Fame announcement for the second class, I called up Bobby and I said, anyone going? He goes, no. I said, mind if I go? He goes, no, come with me. So I went down and I'm sitting, I go through and I always did like the walkthrough where you had to walk to, and I walked down and I said, okay, Bobby, go up there to the left. So I walked him down and I said, okay, you're right here. And I was like in the second row. And I was about to leave and the girl says, no, Tim, sit down. And I knew her. And I said, no. She goes, Tim, sit down. And I went,
okay.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so the whole thing, when they announced it and they got up and they showed him and I, and I'm about to cry and everything. And he's doing like that. And after everybody turns to me and we looked and we had this great look. So we sit back down and I'm like, wow, just get my composure together. They announced someone else. And then they announced Ned Jarrett. Ned Jarrett was sitting to my right. Ned gets up, covers his mouth. He's emotionally like, wow. I'm the first hand he shakes. And I was like,
yeah.
So it's on TV at the time of Speed. And like, you got friends going, nice seat. How's your afternoon going? Holy crap. I saw you. So later I was joking. I'm going to look, if you want to get in the Hall of Fame, you just got to take me down. I'll sit next to you. And that was the year Darrell didn't get in. And so they're all over there interviewing him. And it wasn't that he was upset he didn't get in, but he was told he was getting in.
Oh.
So he was missed, but the whole thing was. Yeah. So I'd say that's probably one of the best ones. And geez, there's so many.
I think I saw some pictures you had on your page with that.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that really him down there?
Yeah. So I think that was probably one of the, just because the Hall of Fame's the Hall of Fame, and Bobby got in the second class.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the good ones. I mean, the 500s were nice, and the championship with Truex were nice, and there's a lot of good stories and memories. But I think that was one of the. That was, if I was to pick one, that would be it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Geraldine says she loves your koozie.
You
There you
should,
go.
honey.
Brett Troutman says he would like to see Neil Bonnet go in the Hall of Fame.
There's another one, just because of the history and everything, and that's another one with the. I don't want stats to ever be a factor, because Neil left his mark too, and the stuff that he did. I just don't. I wish they would have kept with the 5 instead of the 3, because now you've slowed down. You already had a backlog of 50 years, 60 years, whatever.
Yeah.
You've already had this backlog, and now you're shortening the funnel even more to get all these people in.
Right. Yeah.
That's
I agree.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. So Dickie Dennis asked, should the fence climber be in the Hall of Fame?
He should be in the Hall of
Shame.
Holy crap moments. That's he should be.
Just kidding.
That's a good one though. Yeah.
How does he know
That's
he's
funny.
not in?
Yeah. You know what?
Well, there's a Hall of Shame, or the Holy Hell of Fame. How about that one? Yeah. There
That's
you go.
good. I like that.
I just made that up. Yeah.
Yes. The Holy Hall of Fame. I bet you're in somewhere, Dickie.
Yeah.
You're in there.
Sure.
One of those Hall of Flames. I don't know.
You definitely left a lasting impression. Of people. Remember that guy that night? Yep.
Yes.
Sure.
He is at least a YouTube sensation.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, what's funny about it too is just about every guest I've had on here they always know exactly who he is. Oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Sure.
Yeah, and then they're just like it's almost like my guest becomes a kid again.
Sure.
Dickie's that guy.
Well, the thing about that whole moment is like he just crawled up there and sat there like that's where he belonged.
Yeah.
What do you know? I'm here. I'm supposed to be here, man. That's it.
And I'll tell you the story again because I know I've said it 100 times. But he was sitting up there, and then he was like, okay, 4 cars coming. He wanted to get a selfie with him. And then he realized he forgot his phone. So he throws his arms up in the air like, what the heck? I forgot
What
mine.
did I just do?
It left it sitting down in the seat, so he wasn't even able to get a good picture. But there's some good pictures of him.
Don't worry, a
up
bunch
there.
of people did.
And videos, yes.
A bunch of people did get pictures of that.
Yeah.
What a way to make it
sure.
on TV.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
That good stuff there, Dickie.
Any more questions? Are we good there?
We got one more.
Jeez. This is good. Is this good?
Bring 'em.
Rachel's the question queen tonight.
Yeah.
What is Tim's favorite historic NASCAR track?
Daytona.
Daytona.
Yeah.
First race.
Yep. Daytona. Just because it's the first track I ever went to. Won races there, had great, memorable moments. Yeah, Daytona in a heart, because it's like when Daytona's coming up, it's like, to me, it's like Christmas. Marlboro Man? What are we on? We having a shootout here, Dave? What are we doing? I didn't bring no gun, darn it all.
Yeah, the Kid, the Bad, the Ugly. That's my ringtone.
Okay. But Daytona, just because it's the epicenter of, NASCAR was created there, and, and Daytona's coming up. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, I like Christmas and New
And
Year's.
it's a part of history, too.
Oh, it's history. I mean, if you win at Daytona, you're somebody forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we visited there when we went to Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we drove by.
Filmed live from there, too.
And, yeah. And I also walked around. Well, I went to find the different places like Ormond Beach, and I went to look for best damn garage in town. Smoky Units.
Right off Main Street there, down from Boot Hill Saloon.
I figured out where it was, and it took me a while looking at pictures, and because there was no marker there, no sign, anything. And after I did a YouTube video of it, the next time I went back, there was a sign. I'm not saying because of my video,
It's good that you did that then.
But I'm thinking maybe somebody realized, hey, we need a sign.
You left
here.
your mark, David.
I guess, yes.
You inspired people.
Yeah. So we're, and it was like being right there in that spot, and a lot of places around Daytona.
There's people go down there and they don't even. You go to the North Turn Club there, and I mean that's a great place to go. But you just walk around and see the history on the walls, and Daytona's just, I don't know. I mean, it's just, when I get ready for that, it's just like this whole mental psych up thing.
Right. Yep. I'm with you there. Same thing, because, that was the, racing was born in this area, but as far as the NASCAR, but the first organized meeting was down there. I didn't get to the hotel though. Yeah. I didn't get over to the Streamline.
Yeah. They redid that. It's beautiful now. It got a little seedy for a while there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I've driven by it.
Now it's nice. They redid it and they fixed it all up.
Oh yeah, Rachel's asking that question. Have you been there? So I guess you just answered that.
I used to go every year to have one drink to say, toast the sport. And I skipped some years when it kind of got a little weird.
Well, next time we go down to visit Scott and Jenna, we're going to go over to the Streamline.
Go upstairs the rooftop bar.
Okay.
Just recommendation.
Yeah, I'll do that. It's not like the Garden of Eden down in Key West, is it?
No, it's not.
Yeah. See, I get a little, worried when I hear suggestions.
Well, back in the day, it could have been when they cleaned it up. It's good now to go.
Oh, okay.
How's
Yes.
that? Yes, that's why I said I got a little seedy.
Yeah.
But, so there you go.
I get it
definitely
now.
go now to the upstairs.
Yeah, we just went to Key West for the second time.
We happened to ponder up there
that's
accidentally, not knowing what it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Hello.
And I figured it out pretty quick. And I was like, all right.
So after 2 hours, I said enough of this.
Well, the funny part is I was the one that was leading up the stairs, and I got up to the top of the stairs, and I turned around real quick, and the expression on my face, I said, we need to go. Dave was like, what?
Why?
Yeah.
Looks cool to me.
Yeah, so of course, just out of curiosity, this past trip, I just had to go up there and see what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I stayed down.
But it wasn't bad. It's just one person up there,
Sure.
one whatever, topless. But other than that, it was good.
Okay, got it.
It's called the Garden of Eden for a reason. I figured that out. Yes. But it's not religious. Okay, so good morning there. Good morning.
Wow. Next question.
Yeah. That was it. That was the last
right.
of the questions.
That was good.
So far.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, these are great questions, and this is great that you do this because I think, like you talk, you have your story, I have mine. People listening have their affiliation, and the one thing I've always said is, and that's, we're doing this for the fans. I mean, sometimes I think they're missing that. I think they're doing it, they think, for the fans.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they lost a lot of hardcore fans there for a while.
Yeah.
Just by corporate decisions that were made. Now, and Warren and I have talked about this on Pub Table Racers. People who are racers need to make those racing decisions because that's who's going to attract them. You can't have people who've never worked in the sport, they've never touched a car, they've never driven, and they think they know it, but they don't. They might be really good at what they do, but there's that inherent passion, that touch, see it, touch it, smell it, and the whole thing. Mm-hmm. That's where you become hooked.
Yeah.
And, you can't talk about the same 6 guys all the time. And this year, with all the different winners, 11 and 14 races, they've been forced to talk about different guys. Oh, check this out. Oh, look at this, And I think this season's going really well. Mm-hmm. I think this season's been pretty exciting. Having 11 different winners, so there's only room for 5 left.
Yeah.
With how many races to go? 12?
Something like that.
Yeah, they go to 26, right? So they're 14. So.
And I guess
did the math,
getting the cars closer to being more like the same as the next one, then that kind of gives more drivers a chance to shine at different tracks, different. So what about this past week? I guess it was a rake fest. A lot of rain.
A lot of rain, yeah.
Wet track and stuff.
I think it's just me. I think after that Truex Cole Custer wreck, I think they should say, hey, let's take a moment here.
Yeah.
And let's see what we're doing, because at what point does it cute become dangerous?
Right.
And that's kind of thing where they went. So, I mean, that was bad. That could have been a lot worse. But
yeah,
you can't see. I mean, flashing red light maybe, but I think they should go to an LED bar across the back window.
Yeah.
If you can see that, because all it takes is a couple drops on your windshield to block that one little light. Or if you put an LED bar up there. But,
Cole Custer's car was pretty well tore up.
Oh yeah,
and it caught on fire too.
And it caught on fire. Yeah. When you have to bungee it together to put it back on the hauler.
Yeah, there's a side view of it. Yeah, the whole
Show
front
it on the
was,
camera too, Dave.
The whole front was mashed to the. Yeah, I could have had it on here ready to pop on the screen, but I didn't think that far ahead.
That's fine.
The other
you
camera.
can find.
Fine.
It's all good. Oh, this one here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, you can.
Yeah, but that just shows one, the safety factor that we were talking about. It has been so much better, and then the whole thing is that, at what point do you say, hey, I think we've gone too far here. Like, I get that it's entertainment.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it is a business, but it's all entertainment.
Well, like Dickie said.
Just like football and all that.
Yeah, it's got to be. Dickie said on his, I remember saying this on Facebook too, maybe windshield wipers that really work.
Yeah. Well, Rain-X was your friend.
Yeah, Rain-X.
A lot of them were saying, don't worry about the wiper. Let the Rain-X just blow it off there.
True.
But when it was raining that hard and you're getting rooster tails in front of you, there's not enough Rain-X out there to keep that away.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We did that whenever we went to Japan the first year. We were, for whatever reason, we were expecting rain. So we had brake lights, we had windshield wipers on the cars. and then we had rain jackets, and then we ended up not getting any rain. They had all these rain tires mounted with the grooves and everything.
Shipped to Japan.
And then whenever we got there, they were like, well, we got to swap them over. So so Goodyear was busy.
I'm sure they were.
Switching tires back over.
What else you want to know?
Yeah, what
stories?
else?
What do you got? Stories.
Oh yeah, so you're so what do you got going forward? I guess you got the 3 different podcast things going on, but your newest one was the garage
shop.
The garage shop.
And that's been phenomenal being involved with those guys. I mean, it's ex-racers in there. There's like 5 guys from DEI. Aaron Brown, who runs it. And, I walked into the one time and I'm like, hey, it was like a reunion. But everyone that works there, they're just into it. There's a 23-year-old kid named Spuds, and he's totally into it. And he appreciates the history at 23. And the one time we had him on, he said, I can't talk to my friends about this because they don't get it.
Right.
We went to the Wellburn Muscle Car Museum in Alexander City, Alabama, where the original Bobby Isaac Dodge Daytona sits.
Yeah.
And you can't help but get like, wow, that's pretty cool, because these guys built another one identical to it, and now they're speed racing with it. And the history was tying back, and now we have people going, hey, what's this? I didn't really know about the Aero Wars. Talk to me about it. And it was only 2 years until NASCAR said, these are rocket ships. We're done.
Yeah.
You're done with those cars.
Yeah.
So it's bringing history back, too.
Yeah.
With modern technology.
I always think about Bobby Isaac is the one that got out of the car at Talladega.
Allegedly, he heard voices or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah. But everyone has their lore. But that K&K number 71 car is iconic.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I believe I've got the little Max
Diecast?
box.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to look through my box of cars, but I'm thinking I do.
Ask me how many diecasts I have.
2 or 3?
4.
4 diecasts.
2 Bobby Allison, 1 Dale Jr., and 1 Rich Bickle.
Okay. I just, that's an unusual combination.
Yeah.
Rich Bickle out of there.
Yeah, I worked with, he's been a friend for 20 years.
Okay.
And he got back in, this is last year of racing, 45 years old, 60 years old, 45th year of racing. And so he said, I want to do Daytona one last time. So we did the ARCA race. And so he says, you're doing my PR. I said, let's do it. So I went down there with him. And now he's out short track and he's winning. He's won twice and 3 times so far. So, and it was just celebrating that. So it's just funny how you meet someone and you become friends with them that you admired already. And you realize even though I was a writer and he was a driver, that we were a lot alike and everything was just fun.
Yep. I was trying to think. We had the race this past weekend. So we do MRN Classic races every Saturday night.
Oh, good.
And so, we did.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, this coming week, I've got actually that's the next question. While I try, 1979 World 600 from Charlotte.
Okay,
is going to be the race on our MRN Classic.
That
races.
was on the World 600. Yes.
Yeah.
And then it became the Coca-Cola 600.
Yes. Yep. That's right. Yeah. So that'll be on this Saturday evening.
That's perfect timing.
6 o'clock.
Good. That's perfect timing.
Yeah.
I like it. I like when they tip to the past.
It does line up with the races, of course. This last week was from the Texas, was it World Speedway? Whatever.
Texas World Speedway, yep.
Yep, and it was 1981. It was 1981 race, yeah. So it's good to listen to those. I love going back and listening to them.
Yeah, the voices of back then, too.
Yeah, Rachel said, what would Tim recommend to bring in the younger generation? Teach them a history. I think that should be a requirement before you get a job in NASCAR and you're young.
Sure.
You got to learn the history.
Let me quote Bobby Allison.
Yeah.
There's a lot of young kids out there that work in the sport and drivers that if I walk through the garage, they don't know who I am. He said, and that kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, sure.
And he meant it.
Yeah.
But at the same, and I get where he's coming from, but there should be here's who we are, here's who we came from. And Darrell Waltrip said a lot of people think racing started in 1992.
Yeah.
Richard Petty's last, Jeff Gordon's first. But there was a whole bunch before that.
Yes.
But I think they should have some type of, hey, here's who you are, and here's what this sport's about, and why, how we got here to where we are today.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. One of my earliest memories was watching that 1979 Daytona 500 that you always hear about. But I legitimately was standing in front of my big console TV, and we had a small TV on top because the console was broke. So it was a TV stand.
Yeah,
and I remember like doing this with my hands, and I was 8 years old?
Sure.
8 or 9, something like that. Yes. So yeah, that was in Charlotte because we were racing. We were racing and wrestling in Charlotte when I was growing up.
I used to love wrestling.
Oh yeah, man! I was up till 3 o'clock Saturday night watching.
I was going to say, and speaking of wrestling,
you give me Jimmy Boogie Woogie Valiant any day of the week.
Oh yeah.
So when I lived in Florida, my neighbors were well, not like next door, but in the area. Like I used to see Macho Man at 7-Eleven a lot. Greg the Hammer Valentine came to the bar I was working at.
Yeah.
And you'd see Gorilla Monsoon lived in my building. Bobby the Brain Heenan lived in my building. Hulk Hogan, you see him walking the beach. So it was nothing to see those guys all together. And it was kind of like cool.
Yeah, I used to go swimming with Ivan Nikoloff, or Nikita, one of them.
Sure.
They used to go to the swimming pool near my house. All
Settles.
Right. Yeah, Settles. All right, we're going to spin the wheel because we're
what are we doing?
Down to it. Spin the wheel to see who the winner is.
Of what? What are you winning?
We're going to win a prize. Whatever prize you come up with to send them.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
Yellow.
All righty. We got yellow, which is coincidentally Karen Baldwin is our winner tonight.
Yay, Karen.
Go to my website, DHammiam.com, and click on that box there that pops up, I guess, and put in your email address and send me your mailing address, and I will put your prize in the mail. And to those of you waiting on a prize, it's going to be worth your wait. You will get it in the mail.
Wait, what I'm hearing is I haven't really gotten to it yet.
On it.
I haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, I've kind of pushed it off on Tracy, but now she's waiting on me to sit and pick out the prizes because I got them. I just have to sit down and actually pick out.
Got everything addressed and stamped and ready to go. Yeah, just waiting for the master's approval.
Yeah,
of what I'm going to give out.
That's it. I know what each of my listeners, friends, who they like as their favorite driver.
Can I ask you how far you backed up?
2 months.
Oh boy.
No.
Oh wow. 3 months. Yeah. Sorry about that, y'all.
But you know what's going to happen when they get like, what the hell's this?
It's going to happen.
Who's this from?
What's this?
Yeah,
stuff?
probably so.
Where does this come from?
Well, yeah. You'll also get a nice decal. Show them the decal here. Yeah. So Tim Packman's got his personal decals right here. You got a couple to take with you there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
If I had some Pub Table Racers ones, I can hand them to you.
Yeah, man.
I'd trade you.
Well, next time.
Okay.
Well, when I come to see you.
There you go. I will trade you. I will give you 2 stickers to come to our show.
Oh, yes. That's your payment. And a beer.
And a beer. Plenty of that, yeah.
Yes.
Labatt, yeah.
Thanks so much, Tim Packman, for joining me this evening.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. Keep doing what you're doing.
And you do the same, and we'll come see you real soon. We'll talk about it after the show.
That's fine. Good.
And thank you, everybody, for tuning.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Jersey Cape Yachts.
I think we may take next Monday off because it's Memorial Day.
I would.
Yeah, I was going to have Spencer Boyd in, and I actually sent him a text and said, "Hey, could I put you down 2 weeks from then?" Because of that.
Memorial Day.
Yeah, and but then the following week I'm gonna have Madison Conrad, who was she was on the female pit crew up in Indy, pitting the car. Okay. And so she works down at Roush Yates Engine. She's going to come on with us.
We have Corey Roper, Truck Series driver tomorrow night.
Okay.
On Pub Table Racers.
All right, Gary. Is Tony Roper? I'm just curious.
No relation whatsoever.
Okay.
None.
All right, so tune in to Pub Table Racers tomorrow night.
8 o'clock.
At 8 o'clock.
On Facebook Live.
On Facebook Live. So, yes, I'll be tuned in as well. So, y'all have a good night, and we'll see you next time.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks. Welcome to Racing Roots with Hamm.
If you don't know our host, David Hamm, he's a 25-year NASCAR veteran, engine builder, and jackman.
Live every Monday evening, we have a new guest
from the racing world with their stories, their paths,
their racing roots.
Sponsored by Jersey Cape Yachts.
Real Country 550 and 92.9 WAME Statesville.
Hey y'all, Statesville Brick is hiring right now. They're looking for you and will start